Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing. In today's video, I want to talk about Wix CMS and how you can use it to get the dynamic content and sections that you want. So this is my own website, KDC Marketing. I'm just going to open up one of these CMS collections. So this is a CMS collection right here, and I get the question asked all the time. What if I want to have something on my dynamic page that is unique to this item? So let me go into my back end here, my website on KDC Marketing, and this is the collection that we were just looking at. So I have my collection in here inside of my CMS. It's called Projects. So I go in here, you can see all the items that I have. And so what if I wanted to have a unique section for one of these client projects that I have inside of my thing? So there are two things that I would recommend doing. So I would recommend using the rich content field right here. So I'm going to add this field for now, and I'm going to take it away in a second. But this field, this rich content field, I'm just going to click and drag this over, is a field where you can customize this however you want. So you can add text, but you have all these other options down here at the bottom. You have images, videos, all kinds of things that you can do. And you can do multiple videos and multiple images, and you can do a combination of text and images and videos and links and bullet points. So rich content is just like it sounds. You're able to create all kinds of content types, and you can make them specific to the item. So this can be different for one item versus the other item. So that's the first thing I would recommend, is using the rich content field, and then you would just go in and you would customize these fields here. So you would start typing, this project needs this type of rich content, and then you would start adding in the content that you wanted, and then you would do something different for the other one. You would say that this one needs an image. So you would go in and add an image here. I'm just going to pick one that I've got. And here's my image, and that's what I need in this one. And this is a really bad example of what you should do and what most people want to do, but it's just showing you that it can be different item by item. And then when I go into edit my website here, I can customize that if I add the rich content. So I'm going to show that real quick, and then also show you one other option after this that you can do if you run into this problem of needing to have a unique section for one of your items in your data set versus another. So if you look at my pages, I have a few dynamic pages here. So I have a list page and I have a projects item page. The item page is the one we were just looking at. So I'm going to switch this to another client, and this is the one we were just looking at. So let's say that I wanted to add my rich content section here. All I would do is I would add a new section, and then I would go over to my CMS on the left-hand side. And then to add the rich content, you just have to go to add content elements, and then you can add the rich content field here. So now this is my rich content field, and then I have to connect this to my rich content field in my data set. So I click on the element. I want to make sure I'm on the connector, and then I go to projects item is the data set, and then it's the rich content field, and then this will pull in what I put in for that item. So now I have my image here on this one, and I can't remember which one I did the image on. Let's see here. Let me pull up in my collection. I think I did it on, or the piece of the line of text. Yeah, I did it on this other one. So if I go to this, you'll see that it will pull in my line of text here. So it's unique to the item. You can make it as robust as you want, and you can do all kinds of rich content there. So that's the first thing I would say if you want a unique section on your different item pages. That's one of the best things that you can do. The second option is not as straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and delete that now. Is if it becomes too much of a hassle and there's a lot of variance between each of these item pages, like let's say that our collection had a lot of different sections we needed that were different and unique between these different items inside of our collection, then I would convert this back to a static page. And even though it's not as good as a dynamic page in some cases, a static page can work better if there is a lot of variance and you know that it's going to be different, and then you don't have to worry about it all being dynamic and the same. And if you do that, you would just go into your pages here and click on the three dots, and you would say remove connections. And that would turn this back into a static page. So you could go back to a static page with some sections that were dynamic, or you could go to fully static pages. And then what I would do in that case is just duplicate the page, the main page that has most of the sections, and then just customize that one from there. Because you can just go into any page you want and go to the three dots and click duplicate. So that's what I would do if you keep running into that issue of I want it to be dynamic, but I keep having all these sections that need to be unique. Then I would convert it to static. And I've had to do that with several of my clients. We started out with a dynamic data set and it was going to work. And then we realized that we needed more sections that were unique to each of those pages. So we just turned it back into a static page, and that worked better in that case. And in some cases, you don't need to do that. You can keep it dynamic and use the rich content field, the one I already showed, and you can get all of your variants in that one section. But if you have multiple sections that are different, then I would totally recommend going back to static. So hopefully this has been helpful to walk through this, because this is a question that comes up all the time. And sometimes you start down a path thinking that dynamic is the best way forward, and it turns out that static might be better. Or sometimes you go to create static pages and then you're creating the same exact page over and over again. And in that case, you might convert that to dynamic. So it can go either way. But those are a couple of workarounds for that problem, either the rich content field or converting the dynamic page back into static. And then it will work like any other page where you can have any kind of section that you want. So I hope you found this video helpful. That's what I have for today, and I'll see you in the next video.